Stone Paxton Music and Life. Welcome to my channel. For all those that are not subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit like, and also make sure you hit that bell to get the notifications for all my latest videos. Stone Paxton Music and Life. We're back again, you guys, with another one. Let's get started. I've already loaded up a few kits. And why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I want to show all the youngsters that are interested in getting MPCs, or my OGs that watch the channel. If you're interested in getting the MPCs, I want to show you how easy it is to create if you have a creative mind. Once again, do you have to be a great musician? No. I happen to be a musician, but I'm giving you some of the facts. You don't have to be a great musician. Does it help if you're a great musician? Absolutely it does, because it would mean you understand music theory, which means you can apply certain elements like doing, semitone stuff, which equals to a key or a note. You understand those things and you can apply those quicker and faster. But does it stop you from being a great producer? Absolutely not. It's all about what you have here and what you have here and what you apply from your creative concept, what you apply from your creative concept to this machine to come up with a great idea. Some of the biggest records in hip hop have been created from just being creative, all the way back from the 70s all the way up to now, from African Bambaataa to Dallas Austin, to Jermaine Dupri, to Battle Cat, to Dr. Dre, to Rodney Jerkins, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, who are some of the most creative and versatile producers because they can do it all. And they take samples and they embellish the samples and then build around them. But we're going to take the sounds that are on here and we're going to turn it into records, turn it into songs that can be records, right? Also, let me say, man, I noticed with my channel, what I'm noticing, I'm seeing other content creators who have a tendency to like to go to other channels and kind of, you guys know I keep it 100% real. But anyway, they will take other content creators' concepts and what they talk about and try to take it and flip it, use it for themselves. You got to be creative content creators. Don't steal other people's concepts. Don't steal other people's ideas. I've had people actually, I've been on YouTube since 2008, and I've had people actually come to my channel. They won't subscribe, by the way. They won't subscribe, but they'll peep out my channel and what I'm doing, and they'll steal little concepts, and they'll roll up to their channel and apply the concepts of things that I've been doing. So some things I've taken off of my channel as far as my applications and the way that I do it, because I know people were stealing the concepts. Let me tell you something. Creativity is not just applied with music. When we create creative and new things, and when we apply those things, it makes us an individual, because now we're applying original concepts. We can't bite off of everybody forever, although we're all inspired by somebody. But if we're inspired by those people, then we should give that person that credit for that inspiration and not steal the concept and run with it and flip it up like we came up with it. I've been in the music industry, once again, and I'm proud of saying it. I've been in the music industry for 40 years, 40 years now. Everything I learned, I didn't learn from a book. Everything I learned, I didn't learn from a class. Did I go to college? Absolutely. But I didn't learn the music industry from school. I learned it from being in it. I learned it from being signed, having the record deals. And owning my own record company, having to learn about marketing, promotions, touring, producing, writing, and arranging is something that I've been doing. But all the business part, I have been doing for years, you guys. So as a creator, a YouTube creator, be creative. That's what being a creator is about. Be creative. Come up with some concepts for your channel that are your own and unique to your channel. Okay? It's funny, you guys. Anyway, I am going to get shouts out to people that have subscribed to my channel, and also thank you to Columbus, Ohio. I'm trying to remember the name of my peoples from Columbus, Ohio. I'll make sure I do it before the video is over. Give you thanks for becoming a member of Stone Paxton Music and Life. Now, with that said, this video is brought to you by Brand Artist Coalition Music Distribution. Make sure you click the link at the bottom and distribute your music today. Let's go, you guys. Come on. Let's see what we got on these kits. Okay, let's do something. We build from scratch, right? Let's build it from scratch, y'all, because I'm already hearing something in my head. Let's go. Let's build it out. Let's see where we're going to take these BPMs. Hold on, let's make it to 4 bars. Here it is. We're gonna do another percussion sound. Here we go. Hey, look, 54 is still rocking it, baby. Let's go. That young energy. We got that young energy over here, y'all. Okay, we're gonna hi-hat. Wow, that's right. Every once in a while you get some weird stuff that goes on with this. I don't know why it does that. But I did figure it out the last time. These sounds be switching. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Here we go, let's go. Hold on. Let's go. Let's try that and see what that sounds like, you guys. Gotta redo it again. Here we go. Yep. Hey. I like that energy, but we're gonna find something else to. Let's see how that rocks with it. Okay, we're gonna lay that. Here we go. That's like an orchestra hit. Hey. Okay. Okay. Okay, so what I want to do now is we're gonna do this little Stone Paxton tricks. Let's oops. Sorry, you guys. Okay, we're gonna do another Stone Paxton trick, you guys. Okay, here we go. So y'all gonna see, watch. We're gonna add that. All right, we're gonna lay that other hi-hat, y'all. Okay, here we go. Kid want a trip. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Clap. Once again, you guys, this kid is on here. So I just took the kid and I'm flipping it into something else. Now I'm laying another snare. Here we go, here we go. Let's do that again, y'all. Find another sound. And you know, sometimes you got to know what goes there and what doesn't quite fit. So that's where your ears come into play. You kind of gotta know what doesn't work and what does, because you don't want to kill the track, the vibe of the track, by throwing a whole bunch of other crazy stuff in there. Sometimes tracks gotta breathe. I'm gonna mess around with some strings. At the end, y'all. I think I want to pitch that up higher. We'll pitch it up higher and play it. And then this will play at the end, leading like it'll lead into the chorus. So I'll play it at the end of the 8 bars. All right, we're gonna lay that. that's the thing. See, and this is what I'm talking about. This is a prime example. So let's say you're working on a record, right? Let's say you get hired to work on a record, or let's say an artist calls you, and here's my thing. Like, okay, you got sites like BeatStars and other sites where producers are doing stuff on there, but here's my issue. As a working producer who gets hired to do beats all the time, or tracks or compositions, sometimes the artist will do a one-on-one with you, and the vibe that's created is always an automatic vibe that's created by you sitting there with the artist, and the artist is sitting next to you, and you vibing, creating, and then they're sitting there with the pen. Like, you got to let it flow. You can't think about this stuff. And so when it flows, it's right. When it flows, you know it's right because you're not overthinking it. Like, you can't overthink this production thing. You got to just let it, just bam, just let it happen, because when you overthink it, then you will overthink yourself out of a great situation. And that is what you don't want. You want it to be organic. You want it to be natural. You understand what I'm saying? So you want it to be organic and natural. And the only way that happens is don't second guess yourself. Just vibe. You understand what I'm saying? Good part about doing original production or getting with a producer that does produce original music is, I think I said this in some other videos, you don't have to worry about going online hearing your beat with somebody else. You don't have to worry about, you buy a beat from SoundCloud, BeatStars, 9 times out of 10, 90% of the time, 99.9%, somebody else has bought that same beat. You got the license, you got the lease. Then once you try to monetize it, whoever puts it out first is the winner of the monetization. Because what happens, anybody that goes secondary, all of these distributors, it's going to show up as already monetized because the metadata will be coded with the music and the vocals. So anybody else that tries to drop that music and you're buying all this offline, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have issues with getting it cleared. So I push all you young producers to get with a producer who does original beats, who you can get something from them. It doesn't matter who the producer is. Get with the producer and get some original production so that you don't have that issue, so that you have that relationship with that producer and you don't have to worry about the whole situation. Now, I'm not knocking producers online. I'm just giving you some advice on some of the issues that you'll deal with and that you'll run into with the issue of getting tracks offline that are not being used by a whole bunch of other cats. That's really the problem. You want something individual, or ask that producer online to, give you an original track. Make them produce something original from scratch. Then if you're purchasing the lease on that, then it's done from scratch. If they will do that, then you got something great. Other than that, you're going to always have issues. So the creative process as a producer and as a writer should always be organic like this. It's fun to be able to create. It's fun to be able to create tracks like this with the artist sitting in the studio. Not only does it show the artist that you're actually doing the work, number one, and they're paying their hard-earned money to get the tracks. Number two, it helps build character with the relationship with the artist. It also helps build character as a producer, and it makes you better. It makes you better. So through the years, I've always been forced as a producer to have A&R people over my back looking, and I'm in the studio, and I had to do the work. I had no choice. It's either that or I would lose my publishing deal. So that's what made me better at being able to sit down and just off the top of the dome come up with something, no matter what style of music it is. And that's what I want to pass on to you guys. Like, it's something you have to rehearse. It's something you have to do all the time so that it gets to be a common practice for you as far as being able to do it on the drop. But at the same time, you're able to serve those artists that come in the studio. You're able to serve them faster, and you're able to get stuff done even quicker when you work on the speed. I'm going to find one more sound. Let's see what we can make fit with that. play that. Here we go. I guess I didn't lay that. Here we go. Let me erase that first part. Let's see if there's anything else. And like I said, sometimes you kind of got to know like when to stop, because you can put too much stuff in there and it leaves no room for the rapper to come in and do his thing. You don't want to step on maybe we'll do one more clap. Let's see. Yeah, let's add that clap. So sometimes you got to know when enough is enough, and you don't want to overdo it, right? And step on the rapper's cadence area, right? Because it needs to be room for the rapper to have his space to be able to do his thing, right? Let's see. So you don't want to step on him. Okay, let's see what else we got. Let's see if there's anything else. Like I said, you don't want to go crazy, because sometimes we can go crazy. Now, somebody had left a comment like, hey man, man, you know, you should put a transition in there. Well, listen, I don't need to put a transition in there, because you know what? This is an idea. The transitions are for when you put it in song mode. The transitions are for when you're turning it into a song. I'm not here doing the whole song breakdown. I'm just doing what I do, which is showing you how quick I take what's on here and how we can take the sounds on here and turn them into something great. So don't worry about the transitions. That's for a record. That's for when I put it in song mode, break it down, have a rapper come in, rap it. Then we do all that stuff. Trust me, I'm well versed in changes and transitions. I know, trust me. But once again, you're coming to this channel. It's not about a transition. It's strictly about working at a pace that's efficient, but having a quality sound of the production at the same time by using what you have and making the record as dynamic as possible and giving it an element and having your own sound at the same time. Listen, Stone Paxton, Music and Life, you guys. Let me pull up some names and thank some people. You know, I'm a creative innovator. I create stuff off the top of my head, so I stopped doing it, right? Because somebody else wanted to bite it. So listen, as a creator, we need to look at that word in the dictionary and what creator means. You have to be a creator in creativity. So if we can't come up with our own concepts for our channel, why do it? I think I said it earlier in my intro. Be creative, creators. Be creative and come up with your own thing, man. There's so many ideas that we shouldn't have to go to nobody else's channel and bite. Real talk. Let me thank Larry Goings, 1810. Stone, you a beast with that MPC. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Live 2 is a GOAT. I use it in standalone mode and use the MIDI to SSL plus 2 as an interface Logic Pro, which gives me access to my native instrument, Ultimate Sounds. Akai instrument plugins are okay, but native instruments are just disgustingly good. Listen, ACTN 376. Brother, listen, I am with you 100%. That is a fact. I love my native instrument stuff, although I love the Akai stuff, but native instrument is kicking some butt. The Golden American, thank you for your comment, family. The Golden American family. I do hear a difference with the Live 2 versus the 61. I do. And the sonic quality, man. I don't know. I think maybe they use some different capacitors in here. I'm not sure. I mean, people will argue over that point and say, oh, the past capacitors are horrible, which they can never compare to the original MPC. And I'm not going to argue that because that's the truth. But when we talk from one Akai machine to the other, I do think there's something going on. It's kind of like the software, like Studio One. I use Studio One to record all my vocals. But what I noticed in Studio One, when Teddy Riley turned me on to Studio One. So when I started with Studio One Original, thank you, Cambodian Mystique, thank you. Yeah, the speakers on the MPCLive are just super dope. But when I started with the Studio One, I'm sorry, the original one, and they start coming up with 5 and 6, I noticed when I cut on my laptop with 3, it hits so freaking hard. And then Teddy Riley and I were talking, him and I were on the phone talking, and Teddy went back to Cubase, but then he goes back and forth. He'll dump into Studio One because he loves the sound of it, but he don't like the engine of the new Studio One, and he told me. So him and I always have conversations about it, and it's interesting. So I do believe, because honestly, you got to think about this. It's kind of like the microphone technology hasn't changed that much in the last 40 years, honestly. But when you're dealing with capacitors, like it's like a LA2A preamp. They say every LA2A preamp doesn't sound the same. What if, think about this, what if the capacitors they're putting in the MPC don't sound the same? If the LA2A compressor can sound different, what makes a person think a capacitor can't sound different? You know what I'm saying? Each one. I mean, it's an argument to be debated, but it's a legitimate argument. From machine to machine, from Akai 61 to the MPCX, what if those capacitors are different capacitors? What if they're made a little bit different? You know, I mean, you know, you got to think it's made by a human, right? So each capacitor could possibly be different, which why when we're hearing certain stuff, we feel like it sounds different. Because I've hooked it up to different systems and speakers without my EQ, and I feel the same way you feel, brother. So I appreciate you for that. Let me see who else I will give shout out to. My Ohio crew. School hit the button. Listen, Columbus, Ohio. Thank you for becoming members. Thank you for becoming a member of Stone Paxton Music and Life. Thank you for rocking with me, brother. I appreciate you guys, man. When I come to Ohio, I performed on the morning show in Toledo about 2 years ago. It was a morning show in Toledo, Ohio. I was there out on the road doing a promotional tour for my single, and I performed there. So when I'm back in Ohio, I'm gonna come stop by, and we're gonna do a live from your studio. You feel what I'm saying? Appreciate you guys. Make sure if you didn't become a member of the channel, consider becoming a member of Stone Paxton Music and Life. If you like the content I bring to you guys, please consider becoming a member of Stone Paxton Music and Life. You get certain perks with that. Not only that, you know, I giveaways that I'm going to be doing, as well as I'm going to be doing some special stuff and talking about detailed things in the music industry that are only going to be provided for people that are subscribers and members of Stone Paxton Music and Life. I'm going to be talking about distribution. I'll be talking about how to break a record, how to chart it, get it in the charts, how to set it up the right way, how to get the proper radio play, how to set up a tour. I've done all that stuff, how to run a record company, the things that I had to deal with from the physical part of the music industry to where it is now, to the digital. Listen, Stone Paxton Music and Life, you guys, let's play this out. We're going to play this out, you guys. Here we go. Catch you on the next video.